Everyone fails at some point. But it's what you do next that truly matters. Whether it's a failed business, a broken relationship, or a personal setback, failure can be incredibly painful. But here's the thing, failure doesn't have to define you. In fact, it can be the very thing that sets you on the path to success. In this video, we're going to explore how to overcome failure and rebuild your life. We'll dive into inspiring personal stories of individuals who have turned their biggest failures into their greatest successes. And we'll share practical steps that you can take to bounce back from failure and start moving forward with confidence. So how have others done it? How have they turned rock bottom into a launching pad for their dreams? Let's find out. First, let's talk about the reality of failure. It's something that every one of us will experience at some point in our lives. Whether it's a failed project, a missed opportunity, or a personal loss, failure is a natural part of life. But that doesn't make it any easier to deal with. Failure can be devastating. It can shake your confidence, make you question your abilities, and leave you feeling lost and unsure of your next steps. The emotional impact can be overwhelming, leading to feelings of disappointment, shame, and even depression. But here's the truth. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. The most successful people in the world have all faced failure at some point. What sets them apart is their ability to pick themselves up, learn from their mistakes, and keep moving forward. This is where resilience comes in. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to keep going in the face of challenges, and to turn setbacks into opportunities for growth. It's a skill that can be developed, and it's the key to overcoming failure and rebuilding your life. In the sections that follow, we'll explore how real people have used resilience to overcome failure and achieve incredible success. We'll look at the practical steps they took and the lessons they learned along the way. Let's start with a powerful personal story of someone who hit rock bottom but found a way to rebuild their life. Meet John, a man who faced one of the most challenging periods of his life after his business failed. John had always been an ambitious entrepreneur. He poured his heart and soul into his startup, believing it would be the next big thing. But despite his hard work and dedication, the business struggled to gain traction. After years of effort, he was forced to shut it down. The financial loss was significant, but the emotional toll was even greater. John felt like a failure, and for a while he didn't know how to move forward. But then something changed. John realized that he had a choice. He could let this failure define him, or he could learn from it and use it as a stepping stone to something better. He began to reflect on what went wrong and what he could do differently in the future. He sought out mentors, read books on entrepreneurship, and started to rebuild his confidence. The turning point came when John decided to launch a new business, this time with the lessons he had learned from his previous failure. He approached this new venture with a fresh perspective, a stronger sense of purpose, and a determination not to repeat the same mistakes. Slowly but surely, his new business began to grow. Within a few years, it became a huge success, far surpassing his original venture. John's story is a powerful example of how failure can lead to growth and success. He didn't let his initial setback define him. Instead, he used it as an opportunity to learn, grow, and ultimately achieve his goals. The key takeaway from John's story is that failure is not the end. It's a new beginning, a chance to start over with more wisdom and resilience. Now, let's look at another story. This time, of someone who faced a significant professional setback and found a way to bounce back. Meet Sarah, a talented marketer who lost her job in a company downsizing. Sarah had always been passionate about her work. She loved her job and was good at it. But when the company went through a restructuring, she found herself out of work. The news was a huge blow, not just financially, but emotionally. Sarah felt like she had lost her sense of identity and purpose. After the initial shock wore off, Sarah realized that she needed to take action. She started by giving herself some time to grieve the loss of her job and to process her emotions. But she didn't stay there for long. Sarah knew that she needed to move forward, and she began to explore new opportunities. Instead of immediately jumping back into the job market, Sarah decided to take a step back and reevaluate her career goals. She realized that while she loved marketing, there were other areas she was passionate about as well. Areas she hadn't had the time to explore while working full-time. So she used this setback as an opportunity to pivot. Sarah enrolled in a course to learn new skills, networked with professionals in her field, and started freelancing. She also took up a personal project she had always been interested in, writing a blog on digital marketing trends. Over time, her blog gained traction, and she started getting noticed by industry leaders. This opened up new doors for her, and before she knew it, Sarah was running her own successful consulting business. Sarah's story shows that sometimes, a setback can be a redirection to something even better. By taking the time to reflect, learn, and explore new opportunities, she was able to turn a difficult situation into a launching pad for a new and fulfilling career. Now that we've seen how others have overcome failure, let's talk about the practical steps you can take to do the same in your own life. The first step is to accept responsibility for what happened. This doesn't mean blaming yourself, but rather acknowledging the role you played in the situation. By taking responsibility, you empower yourself to make changes and move forward. Next, it's important to learn from your mistakes. Take some time to reflect on what went wrong and why. What could you have done differently? What lessons can you take away from this experience? Remember, every failure is an opportunity to learn and grow. Once you've learned from your mistakes, it's time to set new goals. Start by setting small, achievable goals that will help you rebuild your confidence. As you achieve these goals, you'll begin to regain your sense of control and purpose. Creating a plan is also crucial. Outline the steps you need to take to achieve your goals and move forward. This might involve seeking out new opportunities, developing new skills, or reaching out to others for support. Having a clear plan in place will help you stay focused and motivated during the recovery process. Rebuilding confidence is another important step in overcoming failure. It's normal to feel shaken after a setback, but remember that your worth is not defined by your failures. Surround yourself with supportive people, practice self-care, and remind yourself of your past successes. With time and effort, your confidence will begin to return. Finally, stay motivated by keeping your eyes on the bigger picture. Remember that failure is not the end, it's just one chapter in your life story. By taking these practical steps, you can turn your setbacks into comebacks and build a brighter future for yourself. To further inspire you, let's look at some famous examples of people who turned failure into success. One of the most well-known stories is that of J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. Before her success, Rowling faced numerous rejections from publishers. She was a single mother living on welfare, struggling to make ends meet. But she didn't give up. Rowling continued to write, and eventually her perseverance paid off. Today, she's one of the best-selling authors in history. Another inspiring story is that of Steve Jobs. In 1985, Jobs was fired from Apple, the company he co-founded. It was a humiliating and devastating experience for him. But instead of giving up, Jobs used this setback as an opportunity to start over. He founded a new company, Next, and later returned to Apple, where he led the company to become one of the most valuable in the world. These stories show that even the most successful people have faced failure. What sets them apart is their resilience and determination to keep going, no matter how many times they were knocked down. The common thread in these stories is that failure is not the end. It's an opportunity for growth and reinvention. If J.K. Rowling and Steve Jobs can turn their setbacks into successes, so can you. So to recap, failure is a natural part of life, but it doesn't have to define you. We've looked at the reality of failure, shared powerful personal stories of resilience, and explored practical steps you can take to overcome setbacks and rebuild your life. We've also drawn inspiration from famous individuals who turned their failures into incredible successes. Remember, failure is not the end. It's the beginning of a new chapter. It's an opportunity to learn, grow, and come back stronger than ever. No matter how many times you fall, what matters is that you get back up and keep moving forward. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and share your own stories of overcoming failure in the comments below. Let's inspire each other to turn setbacks into comebacks. Thanks for watching, and here's to your journey of resilience and success.